Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is a quick clip that we're going to get into that was from a previous video. But as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. I'm invested in following coins and companies. And let's get into the clip. First one at bat is Bitfarms. Mine's 424 BTC in March, which was really good for them. And here's what we got on them. So here's a quote from, I believe this is from, Geoff Murphy. We improved our financial position in March 2023, reflecting stable production and an increase in BTC price. Bitcoin has gone up nicely here, so that has definitely helped them out. During the month, we mined 424 Bitcoins, added 30 BTC to Treasury, and sold 394 Bitcoin at an average selling price of 24,700 per BTC, in line with improving mining economics and lower debt obligations. So that's all good. They're also strengthening the company's balance sheet and reducing debt further. We ended March with 29 million in cash and equivalents and 435 BTC in custody. 22 million in vendor credits and just 21 million total indebtedness. So they are cash flow positive at that point, where they do have more cash than they had indebtedness, which is good. So they've done a pretty good job here since early 2022, getting their finances in order. They've been selling a lot of Bitcoin also, but at least they're getting out of the debt, which is good. And then Ben Gannon, Chief Mining Officer of Bitfarms, said, in March, we increased BTC production by 17% year over year, even with the energy curtailment in Quebec and Paraguay, as well as continued network growth. In Q1 2023, BTC price increased by 72%, outpacing network difficulty growth of 32.5%, which is good, right? Which is what we've kind of seen. As a result, industry mining revenue is up 31% per terahash in the quarter. Continued rising difficulty levels reflect increasing investment and bullish sentiment in the mining industry overall. So those are all good things there. And we can see here what they had mined. So 4.8 exahash online as of March 31st, which is up 78% from March of last year, and up 2% compared to February, which is good. 4.6 exahash average online compared to 4.3 in February, so a nice little increase there in average hash rate. 424 new BTC mined, up 9.6 from March of 2022 from last year. So that's good. And then 13.7 BTC mined daily on average, equivalent to about 390,000 per day, and approximately 12.1 million for the month, based on BTC price of 28,500. But obviously, you're going to use the average price for that whole month, and when that comes down a little bit lower, it's like around 24,000 something. Okay, let's see here. That is it, I think, for the updates. Let's take a look at the numbers that I do have for them, and then we'll get into the next one. So Bitfarms. Here we go. So as always, you guys know the drill here, that Patreon members get access to all my spreadsheets that I do have, all the data that I keep on the miners. That's available to them whenever I upload them, which is pretty much daily almost, depending on how much news we get from them. That's only $4 a month, so that's a little plug for myself. Okay, so Bitfarms has 222 million shares outstanding, almost 223 million shares. Stock price is at 94 cents. We're trying to get Bitfarms above that dollar range for at least 10 consecutive days, so they don't they become in compliance with NASDAQ listing. Their market cap is 290 million right now. Current hash rate 4.8 exahash, which is what I have them at, correct? Yep. And future hash rate is supposed to be about 7.5. They're saying that they're going to get to like 6.5, I think, with everything said and done right now. So there's some miners that I have in here that might be getting booted out of there, which are some of the older miners, I think. So currently they're about 63% operational. Hash rate growth about 56. Number of miners, well, it's an estimate, 48.4 thousand. Hash rate average per miner is about 99, so that's pretty good there. BTC HODL is 435. That's valued at about 12.3 million. HODL to market cap is about 5.88%, and each share has about 6 cents of HODL in it right now. Okay, so now looking at their BTC production here, we can see that their production did peak in August. 534 BTC. Hash rate was much lower at that time. Hash rate has continued to increase, and they haven't been able to really stay with the increase of hash rate. They've done a pretty good job here, but not growing as fast as they probably should be growing. They went from basically in August, they were at 3.9 exahash, and by the end of the year, they were only at 4.5. So about 600 petahash were added into it, which didn't help them out. They also did some curtailing as well, which also kind of drove down their BTC production as of late. So 534 was their best, and then their worst was really in February, just of last prior month, 387. It was a shorter month also, 28 days compared to 31 days. So that's kind of expected, but now they're back up to 424. And with the network hash rate increasing, we're going to start seeing that for miners that aren't growing as fast as the network hash rate is actually. Right? And you can also see it here with the BTC per exahash. They peaked in August, 136 BTC per exahash, which was really good. And then ever since then, they've been coming down. And you're going to see that kind of trend line as well for some of the other miners. especially with the Bitcoin network hash rate increasing. You're going to see that come down further and further as we get into 2023. So for March, here they mined 424 Bitcoin. That equates to about 10.6 million in revenue. That's based on the average Bitcoin price for the month. So I'm pulling in all that data and we're using the average monthly Bitcoin price of that, but it is a nice increase nonetheless of about 9.56% from the month prior. They did sell approximately 384 Bitcoins, it looks like, for about 9.8 million. So they are funding operations that way without having to dilute, which is great. As far as the miners that we got added in here for March, it looks like they only added about 980 or so, about 100 petahash of these 103 terahash miners. And they were mining for about 12.6 days. I'm guessing somewhere around there based on what they actually generated in revenue based on the Bitcoin price, monthly Bitcoin mine. We got them to 10.6 right here. Next, let's take a look at the institution side of things. Institutions did improve here a little bit for them. So 113 institutions compared to 110 for the month prior. Shares is 37.2, so about 270,000 shares were increased, and about percentage owned went up a little bit here as well to 17.08 from 16.96. So those are all good things. We like seeing institutions getting into these miners and buying them up. They usually hold them for a nice long time. They don't usually trade them, so that's good there. As far as analyst targets for them is, we only have one buy rating for them. Price target is $1.48, which is down quite a bit from 368, almost half of that where they were. I don't know where they're getting that number 148. I have them at much higher. We'll take a look at that here shortly. The average is 148 also, and the low is 148. And then we have a chart here that I'm starting to include some of these miners here just to see percentage owned over time. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? That's kind of just a quick way to take a look at what's going on there for that miner. Okay. So that's the information that we have there. This is all good. And let's take a look at the actual numbers here. So the Q4 numbers for them are in. Those are right on the money there. So we're using the last 3 quarters, which are final numbers, which are provided by them. These are the accurate numbers instead of my estimates. My estimates are over here based on those numbers. And then we're using the current quarter, which I'm estimating to be about 29 million in revenue based on what they reported as getting mined each month, using the average Bitcoin price for each month as well. This is kind of what we're looking at. I was really close on it in Q4. I was off by 0.01% on that. So this is kind of what we're looking to see for Bitfarms, is about 29 million, which is good. That's about a 4 million increase, 4.4 million increase in revenue for them, which is great. It's going to be a while before we get back up to, I think, the 40 million mark. Bitcoin would have to go up to possibly now closer to 40, 50,000 per Bitcoin in order for them to be generating that again. But we are possibly going to be getting there this year. Okay, based on all that information, if we use the 50% net income from gross revenue, we're looking with a PE of 15. I have them at about $4.39. And then if we use 75% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at $6.59. So they're at 94 cents right now. In my opinion, they are way undervalued, as a lot of these miners are. We could even get them up to maybe a 20 PE when Bitcoin starts going up higher. So I would see them up even higher right now. I mean, based on the analysts, they're saying $1.48. They are looking at basically a PE of 5 right now, which I don't think is fair. I think once the miners do start growing up with Bitcoin and bull runs, we get much higher PE ratios, and I would guess to be about somewhere maybe 20 even, and maybe even higher some of them times. So 585 to $8.78, that's kind of where I'm looking at between there and the 15 PE, $4.39 to $6.59. So that would be almost a 5x from where we are right now. But Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs. We could see that PE ratio and their earnings obviously increase a heck of a lot more. We could see that be, 10x from here. They could be at $8.39 to $6.59, somewhere around there. Okay, so that's it for Bitfarms. Otherwise, they have been doing pretty well. They're pretty efficient as it is with their mining. They're mining pretty much for the whole time, doing some curtailment there, not much. And they are also getting into Argentina, their Paraguay as well. We'll see how that's going to all work out. They're saying that they're supposed to get that all under control within the next 30 days or so, 30, 60 days in Argentina. So we'll keep an eye on it. But overall, great progress by them so far. Getting the debt under control and everything else, so we're good there. Okay, that's Bitfarms. Let me know what you guys think of Bitfarms down in the comments below. Let's get into the next one here.